So you know how I said people don't talk about Dead Space 2 anymore? Really? That was true, but people really don't talk about this game anymore. But they should, man. Like, this game, it's not only a fun and like really solid mobile game, but it's a really solid Dead Space game on top of that, which a lot of these like mobile tie-in games really don't accomplish ever. Like, you know, I'm not gonna say Super Mario Run's a good Mario game, or that Mario Kart Tour is a good Mario Kart game, or, you know, Painkiller Purgatory is a good Painkiller game. Like, they're just mobile games, but this one is like an actual game, and it's a really good one too, taking into consideration that it's like a 2011 phone game. But like, even now, like, I played it, I hadn't played this before, but I gave it a try just like, you know, a week or so ago, played through it. It's a short game, sure, but it's a really good one. It's a fun one. You know, they were able to pretty accurately and faithfully capture the Dead Space formula for mobile, and genuinely, like, the environments are really like, you know, varied for it being a mobile game from 2011. Like, genuinely, the graphics and like how smooth everything is really impressive. On top of like the gameplay depth here, like, we still have the dismemberment system, for example, which is really impressive. And, you know, we have all sorts of abilities and levels to go through, and different types of levels. Like, you know, you'll be like solving like environmental puzzles, like shooting fuse boxes, and it kind of took the tram system from Dead Space 1. It took that, but it made them, instead of just like, you know, sitting and waiting for the next level to load, they made it like a little brief like combat encounter between, which is that's a pretty cool idea, and it worked out well. But something that's cool about this game, it's not just like well, it is like just a spin-off, like not main thing, but, you know, it takes place on like the Sprawl and like introduces Director Tideman and shit. So this is like a, you know, an impactful game here, given that, like, I don't know if it's actually canon anymore. I'd assume it is, but I'm actually not sure of that. But yeah, man, all the systems are here. The one thing I'll say with regard to how it plays, I mean, it's a mobile game, so like, usually, like, the controls for like 99% of things, like moving, aiming, shooting, it all makes sense, right? You know, it's just left side is move, right side is shoot and aim. It makes sense. And, you know, it does the Dead Space like staple of like, you know, immersive sort of UI, like gameplay, where there's literally nothing on the screen. Like, it's a clean viewport. Everything you need to know is already on the screen, and everything you interact with is, you know, intuitively made so that it didn't have to be like on-screen buttons, but instead can just be like actions, which I can respect. But I kind of wish that things such as like changing the orientation of you know, your gun so that you can use the alt fire, I wish that wasn't on a gyro control, on a tilt control. And like in the 0G sections, you have to like shake your phone to land on the spot, and I don't know, it's just kind of annoying. The 0G sections, by the way, they aren't like Dead Space 2 style, they're Dead Space 1 style, so you just like aim at the ground and like shake your phone, and then the character flies over. This character Vandal, it's actually, she's a she, believe it or not. We're not playing as Isaac here. It really makes no difference, really, because, I mean, she just does the same thing as he does, practically looks the same too with the suit, but I don't know, she's kind of cool. I liked her character. They sort of pulled like a Metroid Samus Aran reveal at the end. You know, with her just like taking off the suit, you know, the voice modifier coming off and revealing, oh, it's a girl the entire time. Well, she didn't take off the suit, she took off her helmet. You know what I'm saying? Like a Metroid 1 thing. I don't know. Like, I think from the way she talks, even with the voice modifier, it's kind of, you can kind of tell. So it kind of takes away a little bit, but it's cool. I don't know. The levels, though, man, these, like, they're really cool for being from a, you know, mobile game from 2011. You're going through, like, cave systems, like mines, and then you're, like, having to survive tram rides with, like, a bunch of fucking hordes of enemies and shit. There's this one part where you have to, like, figure your way out from a maze, like go through doors, and like it's like an infinite loop if you do it wrong. That part was kind of annoying, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's okay. Genuinely though, like if you have an Android phone, even if you don't, like I'm pretty sure you can play this on a, well, I did try at first to play this on an Android emulator. Well, first of all, to actually play this game now though, you have to use this fixed APK from this guy on GitHub, Rafflemount. That's how I play it anyway. I mean, maybe you can get the original APK working, but I'd really just not bother. You know, I played on my phone with this fixed APK, and it was perfect the entire way through. I tried at first to use an Android emulator on my PC, but BlueStacks did not work because everything was like so bright and white. Like the graphics were broken. Mumu did work, but I mean, I don't know. I just kind of figured I'd just play it on the phone because I didn't really care. As for content, the game is 10 chapters long and only about like 2 or 3 hours long, which for a mobile game, I don't really know if you want it any longer than that. It's fun to just, you know, pick up every now and then on your phone and just like, you know, play a little bit. But I don't know. I think that's a good length. It didn't feel like it ended short or it overstayed its welcome at all. Like it was kind of, you know, Goldilocks length there. And then as for weapons, you get a small selection of guns from the first game. Well, actually no, they aren't all from Dead Space 1 at all. You know, you get the plasma cutter and the line gun and the Ripper obviously from the first game. But you actually get 2 new weapons. You get the core extractor, which is this like freaking awesome beam gun that just, you can either fire it in like 4 beams or 1 single concentrated beam. It's just like a huge beam that fucks shit up. It's awesome. And then you actually get a Vandal's plasma saw, which you can use to like hack off limbs up close and shit. It's pretty cool. But that's it for weapons. It doesn't seem like there's an inventory system. Like there is an inventory system of some kind, but you don't actually like manage it. Like I guess every weapon just kind of has like a max ammo pool, and that's all you have to worry about. Like, and in terms of healing, you actually don't heal yourself at all. It just like automatically regenerates your health, which is interesting to say the least, but it's not bad by any means. The stomp becomes not just something you can do whenever, but instead it's like in the top left corner it becomes a swipe thing when it contextually makes sense. Like if you're standing in front of like a box or like an enemy on the ground, you can stomp. Then as for the stasis and the force grab, the force grab I found was like really finicky to like grab items sometimes. Like you had to really precisely tap on the icon to get it to work, but I don't know, it works as you'd expect. Like you grab items, you throw them, it's whatever. And as for the stasis, you have to tap her little stasis icon on the back of her rig, and then that uses the stasis. That's how that works. The stasis also just regenerates automatically, like your health. You don't have to use like a stasis pack or anything, so that's nice, I guess. But yeah, man, if you're a fan of the Dead Space franchise, I mean, you would be doing yourself a disservice to not play this game. Like, it's actually, or even if you just want a game to play in general on mobile, this is fucking awesome. This game is super fun. Yeah, man, that's all I really have to say about it. You know, like, it's a really good time, especially for a mobile game. Like, you'd think this would be like a shitty little, you know, rush job or something, but no, they clearly took their time with it, made it like an actual like game on mobile, and it works so well. But yeah, that's it. See ya.